Thanks, Allison. And as she said, my name is Dalton, and if you know me, this is something unusual. It's something I wouldn't normally do, but I've been led to do this. I've been fighting it all week, coming up with excuses, and each time I've come up with an excuse, it's been knocked down. So this is something I've got to do. But there's several things I want to talk about. The state of the country, being a police officer, which I've been a deputy or an officer for 22 years this month, as a matter of fact. Some events that happened last week at the police department. And then the answer to all this, which let's start when I was a small child at Antioch Baptist Church in Sunday school. We had some brilliant people. They was just country people, but they was very wise. And as a small child, I was just figuring things out, and these people was describing the world we're living in today. They saw it. They knew what was coming. They saw God was being pushed out, and they described the family breakup, and like I say, exactly the world we're in. So certainly, if God is pushed out, good leaves. It creates a vacuum, and evil comes in. You look around, you can see that there's chaos, and God's not the author of chaos. We know that. So this country there's people trying to destroy it, and they don't know the history. And the guy I'll talk about later, he has the same attitude. He's not a protester as far as I know, but he has the same attitude. He doesn't care. What he wants, what he thinks is all that matters. Whatever you want to do, your normal life, he can interrupt that. It's no problem. So I'll talk about him later. The country, even children in school, and some schools have been taught to hate their own country. People don't know the real history, but if you will read the real history, know what these people actually believed, how hard they fought, and what they had to do to get this country to where it is. It's the greatest nation that God has ever allowed to be, and it's done more around the world. You cannot argue the good things that has come from this country. Certainly there's been some bad things, but the good, look at the good side. There's a lot more good. Like I said, I've been in law enforcement 22 years, either a deputy or a police department. And to describe what I've seen from one extreme, imagine going to work one day, your co-worker's killed, which is shocking in itself. But then you've got to go out and help find the killer. And eventually you do. And then you got to look at this guy standing in front of you with a smile on his face that has just killed your friend and coworker. And then you got to try to restrain yourself. So you go from that extreme to riding around 12 hours looking through a windshield with nothing going on. So that's the two spectrums. I've had a lot of bad days in law enforcement. I won't lie, there's days I've gone home and just cried. But thankfully, there's more good days than bad. Good days may be something as simple as a little lady calling during the night. She's scared, she hears something. And if you can comfort her, things like that, just minor things that just, you help other people, but it helps you. You feel good about it. The thing that happened this past week, I will not say his name, his YouTube channel, anything about him. I don't want him to get any credit. He wants the spotlight, and he's got some spotlight that he does not want, and probably will receive some more. But this guy causes a disturbance at a public place by filming. He sticks a camera in people's face and tries to interact with them. And of course, people do not want to be filmed, and I understand. And he will quickly tell you, you have no expectation of privacy in a public place, which is true, because anywhere you go, you're on camera. But you don't have this unhinged guy sticking a camera in your face. You should be able to go do your normal business. You should be able to do your work without this guy doing this. So anyway, his goal is to do this, cause a disturbance, make a big enough disturbance that the police will be called. And when they come, he is in hopes that he can get video for his channel, and some way his civil liberties will be violated. That's his goal. And the reason I know this, that's exactly what he told me. The first time I met this guy, he came to my office to make a complaint that one of our officers had grabbed him and pulled him out of this place. I investigated that, and I've only watched one of his videos because, like I told him, I'm not watching stupid people make stupid videos because it'll make you mad, and life's too short to be mad. So, but his own video proved that his accusation was false. And this guy he repeatedly lied. He edits his videos, and he puts little sayings over them that while he's hiding behind his computer, he will put these things that he says, but he would not say it to your face. He did several things. He scared 2 people. He scared a lot of people, upset a lot of people, disturbed the city for most of the week for nothing, for his own benefit, because I asked him what he did for a living. He was sitting across my desk. He said, "This is how I make my living. The videos and suing people. That's what I do." But he had a shirt on. It was a company that's in Richland, large company. The people that run this company obviously love this country. They're involved in the community. They do a lot for it. And certainly, they would not appreciate this. And, but I asked him about it. He said, "No, I don't work for them. My brother does, and he just gave me the shirt." So that was a lie there. But this guy, after leaving my office, he went to Allison's area, busted in with a camera, started filming her, acting strange. She don't know who this guy is. And she's scared, certainly. So she left her area. While she's gone, this guy, we have alleged like this, he reaches over and films paperwork on her desk. And later, he admits he did this. He filmed it. He doesn't admit reaching over and zooming in, but on his video, you can see that's exactly what he did. And he also published that information. So, but his thing is, well, it's her fault, her responsibility to cover that when I come in. Well, he came in purposely to scare her away. I believe that is his goal. He also, the lady where he originally started this, one of the ladies, several, but one in particular, she didn't come into the office the first day. It was the second time he went to her place of work. And he has this lady so frightened, she is shaking and crying when she's describing what she went through with this guy. So, she was in fear of her life because one thing, and I did not see it, but he did something on her picture in his video that would certainly cause a great concern to her. And it should. But like I say, this guy, his goal is to cause chaos, and you would think maybe he just wants to do this for a living. It's all. I couldn't imagine, and I explained that to him. Couldn't imagine somebody doing this. But I think deep down, this guy's evil. He enjoys irritating people, telling these people they're going to lose their jobs. He's going to sue them. He demands information, and then he will argue that everybody has to do what he wants, and if you don't do his things the way he says they have to be done, well, you're going to be sued. So this guy, I don't know. And I know the best thing with these people is to ignore them. But if he keeps bothering your people, I mean, you got. Plus, you want to know, how does this guy think? How do you do this? But anyway, the next day after he did all this, he called and he went on the phone. He started out calm. He wanted to make a complaint, and he started ranting. And he used tyrannical, tyrant, a lot. I'm not sure what all he said because he just rambled for a long period of time and then eventually just hung up. But if you're looking at tyrannical, that's this guy. So we did, myself and Nick, talked to the guy the second time he come to PD. This would have been the third day of this. And he was bothering everybody, and if we're talking to him, we're keeping him busy, and he's not worrying everybody else, and we're trying to run his battery down. But while we was doing that, we was not in the main hallway. We was in a small area where the court services is, and Chief had found that we did not have to accommodate this guy. He cannot camp out in that area. And he came out and explained that to him very clearly. The guy was told he would vacate the area, and he did. But to show you the attitude of this guy, he jumped up and screamed and just started laughing. He's, I don't know. And he said, "Thank you, I got what I want, I got it, and ran all the way out of the PD and across the way and told him over there that Chief had run him out of the office. So this guy, you don't know, I mean, you don't know what his motives are. You have to watch him because this day and time, you know, you have no idea. So we dealt with him, and like I say, he can sue and he can do whatever he wants, but people should be able to go about their daily lives without this guy, without somebody harassing them. And he that's clearly what he did. He harassed them and he disturbed the peace. So, but that's all. I'm not. He puts out YouTube videos and he brags about all the stuff he can do and all the stuff he knows. But anyway, hopefully we're done with him. Like I say, he can sue or do whatever he wants to do. Hope I'll have to see him again. But he did. I have talked to him one other time. He apparently was working for this company, and they were made aware. I did not call him, but they was made aware of what he was doing, and certainly did not appreciate it. And he was fired. And he called, complaining to me, and I told him I did not call him. You told me you didn't work for him, so you know I didn't do it. But I explained to him, if I went out with my police shirt on, was doing stupid things, how long do you think it would be before the police department would begin to call? It wouldn't take long. So, like I say, you get out and you want the attention. Sometimes you get attention you don't want. But with all that going on, you know, it's easy to get discouraged, and you wonder, you know, is it all worth it? But there's really only one answer, and life can be simple if people would just do it. I know there's trials and tribulations. We know that, you know, that's going to happen. But if you, the biggest decision, if you will know, if you will commit your life to Jesus, and I have no doubt, Jesus came to this earth, and regardless of what some people say, lived a perfect life and died. In my place. So, and there's people will look and they'll say, well, you know, sometimes you can't tell it, and that's fact. You know, you can get, if you don't watch yourself, you will be thinking you're doing right when you're doing wrong. So you got to be careful. And I certainly have made mistakes, but I have no doubt that happened, and I know Jesus died for me, and I believe that with all my heart, and I am a sinner saved by grace. So you can make arguments, you do this wrong, you do that wrong, but facts are facts. But if people will just do that, that's the biggest decision you certainly have to make. If you just love God, love your neighbor, and have some respect for yourself. Don't wait for everybody to wait on you or give you stuff. Don't complain about what other people's doing. Don't take personal responsibility, you know. People sit around waiting to be offended, you know. It's just, these people, if you're sitting around getting a check for nothing, I know it's hard now, but eventually things will turn around. All this will pass eventually. Just take some personal responsibility. But if we would do those things, I mean, certainly there's going to be issues. We know that there's evil, and there's always going to be problems. But if you'll do those things, it will certainly make a difference in your life and in your day-to-day existence. You don't have to sit and worry about all this stuff so much, because this is the answer. And clearly, it's hard. Certainly, some people don't want to believe, and you know, and you're not going to change them. But if we would do those things, it would certainly change his world and change your life. So, I know I appreciate Allison doing this, and I know I may have rambled, and I probably got things out of order, but hopefully you got the most important part of what I was saying. I am quiet. One-on-one, I'll talk to people, I'll talk to you as long as you want to talk. But in a group or talking to a group, I have not done that a lot. I've tried to do better. But I grew up, when I was growing up, it was me, my brother, my grandmother. A lot of the time, it was just us three across the river over in the swamp. So that's all I knew. But she was a great lady. She taught me, she was the first one that taught me, do unto others, you have others do unto you. And I've taken that with me. And at the police department, we do it. We tell our new people, treat people like you want to be treated. Treat people like this is your family you're dealing with. Now, some people, it's not going to work. They're not going to let you. But start there. And that's what we try to do. But she taught me those things. But she also taught me you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you talk. And I was quiet anyway, but then I do remember her telling me that. And I have lived by those things. Certainly, there's times you'll find that I didn't do those, but for the most part, I have, and I try to. So, if you ever wonder what I thought about things, there you are. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Allison.